C'est
All
bon.
right, how's it going, everyone? It's live. It's Nick Action here. One Championship News. I got another Monday show for you. I got a couple of guests. I promised you guys I'd get him on. I had Dennis on Saturday. Now we got Elias Mahmoudi and his brother and coach Jawad here with me. We're going to go through all the drama that happened over the weekend. First of all, guys, how you doing? Elias is driving somewhere. He's in France, so I appreciate you coming on, man. How you doing, Elias?
I'm good. I'm happy to have to give me the you give me the time for explain everything and that's a good opportunity for me and it's very important for me and for my fan and every people.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming on, and yeah, we'll get everything you want to say out there now. And thank you, Jawad, for joining us. He's in Vietnam. How are you doing, sir?
Pleasure. Thanks again for taking the time and giving us the right to answer to all of the claims and things that's going around the last few days. So we really appreciate.
Of course, yes, that's the most important thing, and I think you'll help translate if Elias has any issues with my
Yeah,
English too.
exactly. That's why I'm here.
All right, well, let's get into it then. The news broke, obviously, and we helped already I spoke to you a little bit about everything that you said happened, but I want to just give you the floor, guys. Elias, if you want to start, when did you find out about this, and what was your immediate reaction?
Mais du coup exactement qu'est-ce qui
Il a dit
m'est
en gros, quand est-ce que tu as. So we say when you find out about that, about the big
Like,
story or like
yeah, I mean
when
the
that.
suspension, yeah, when one
Ok.
came to you guys, yeah.
C'est quand que tu as appris que tu allais être suspendu, que tu allais être que tu allais avoir la suspension et ta
c'était
réaction, etc.
c'était il y a quoi? C'était il y a un mois qu'ils nous ont ouais, non 3 semaines,
On,
ouais.
on a eu la suspension au mois de janvier, début janvier.
Ouais. Mais ouais, c'était début janvier. Quoi,
Ouais,
ça fait presque là on est début février, ça fait presque un mois.
ça fait presque un mois. Ouais.
Donc bah je le fais en français et puis tu traduiras.
Do you want him to speak in English, French and I speak in English, or how do you want? It might be a bit
Whatever's,
easier.
yeah, whatever you want, guys. You do it.
Dis-le en
Donc
français, je traduirai en anglais.
ouais. Donc du coup, il y a presque un mois, j'ai appris que j'avais une suspension de 6 mois. Donc à cause du médicament que j'ai pris qui est sorti positif. Et bah, ça a été une déception parce qu'il y a eu beaucoup de travail en amont pour pouvoir enfin être légitime au titre de champion du monde en Muay Thai contre Rotong. C'était dans les papiers, ça devait se faire. Je pense que ça se fera toujours, mais ça prendra du coup un peu plus de temps. Et c'est une mauvaise chose d'un côté, mais une bonne de l'autre parce que j'ai beaucoup de choses effectivement à faire ici actuellement en France. Mais ça a quand même été une déception d'être suspendu pour un médicament, mais j'en assume les conséquences et on reviendra que plus fort.
So basically, we heard about the suspension early January. So of course, it's a pity, that Elias got suspended because of a medicine. But again, we understand we should have checked all of that before. We didn't know. It's In a way it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because Elias right now is very very busy with a lot of things back in France in terms of business and work. And the bad thing is they're supposed to have a fight maybe with Rotting for the title, and right now it might be in jeopardy, but hopefully the fight will still be on the line later on. But yeah, for now we still have to pass the 6 months.
Yes, and I think he said you were with him, Jawad, as well, I think it was China. You got this
Yeah.
medicine. What was it for? It was for treating for like a heavy case of bronchitis, right?
So just to explain a bit, like for me, I had COVID, and COVID gave me a pericarditis, which almost like killed me. It was very bad. I could not really breathe. Very very hard to do any type of sports. And when I was in China, I got treatment in France, but didn't really work. When I was in China, I got this treatment that really helped me. Like after a few weeks, I was feeling way better. And the thing with Elias is Elias went to Algeria, got a very severe case of bronchitis. They tried to heal him over there, didn't really work. He saw two doctors that gave him two different treatments, didn't really work. Then he was supposed to come to China to do the camp with me back in my gym. And when he arrived, the first week, we could see he was really bad with the bronchitis. He could not really train, very hard to breathe. So since some of the symptoms he had were kind of similar to what I had when it comes to struggling breathing, um, coughing a lot. Like he would take the stairs and be like, out of breath. I was like, well, you know what? Let me take you to the doctor. That doctor is gonna check you. And Elias, il y a un bruit de fou. Il y a un bruit
Ouais,
de
je
fou.
m'éloigne, je m'éloigne.
So
He's on the move.
basically, like this doctor, like he gave him the same treatment that I had, and like he did these 2 weeks of treatments, and then we didn't really think about it. Like it helped him, and we moved on. The thing is, like it didn't came to our mind to think like, oh, maybe like we need to check about the medicine. What's the medicine exactly? Especially like Chinese medicine. Um, like it really didn't come into mind to think further than that. It's only when Elias did all the tests for one, the doctor asked us if he took any kind of treatment, if he took any kind of medicine, that we put everything on paper to show like one doctor, the official one doctor, like what Elias took as a treatment. And after that, like that's where like the doctor told us that one of the components in the medicine Elias took was on the control substance list. So we went back and forth with the doctor. We shared everything we had about the medicine, when he got it, how long he took it, why, the med like the scan of the doctor he saw. Like we provided everything. We've been very transparent with One Championship, and I think that's one of the reasons why Elias took 6 months instead of being banned for a year or plus.
Et Joad, oublie pas de bien préciser que tout ça, on l'a dit avant même de faire tous les tests.
Yeah. And this,
On l'a
all of that,
déclaré.
like happened before Elias got tested. We declared everything before Elias got tested.
So you complied with all the rules as far as you knew them. You just didn't know at the time of taking it that this medicine contained a banned substance, right? That was on the list.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, we complied with everything. We just didn't know, like, we had a banned substance. Like, it's not like Elias was shooting, I don't know, like testosterone or taking like EPO. Like, that's the thing. He was not taking PED. Elias took a medicine. Like, and he took it a month prior the fight with Denis Purik. The thing is, when we started to make research now, like, this substance stay in the system for like 3 to 6 months. So, like, there's really nothing we could do.
Et Joad, pour tous ceux qui disent, faut bien préciser que je triche ou quoi que ce soit, j'ai toujours été justement dans la difficulté. Là, j'ai boxé avec une main cassée. J'ai quand même accepté le combat, j'ai quand même voulu faire le combat. Je devais faire un traitement avec une infiltration que justement on n'a pas fait parce que ça sortait aussi positif si on faisait une infiltration dans la main pour la douleur. On ne l'a pas fait, j'ai boxé avec la main cassée, avec le pied, j'avais le ligament au pied et la main qui était cassée. Et j'ai toujours accepté les combats, j'ai toujours boxé en ayant la dingue, en étant malade, n'importe quelle situation, j'ai toujours essayé d'honorer ma parole et mes engagements. Alors, si jamais j'avais voulu me donner une supériorité sur quelque chose, me doper, contrairement à ce que beaucoup de boxeurs du One font actuellement, je prendrais quelque chose de réellement dopant. Ce ne serait pas des médicaments que j'utiliserais pour des raisons qui ont été bien stipulées et bien expliquées en amont de mon combat.
So the second thing is like, Elias always had like, fight where he went to fight like injured, sick. We never pulled out of any fight, never found any excuse. Elias knocked out Naito, like he had dengue fever. Like I remember like just before stepping on the ring, like, I was there and I was holding pads to my brother. And then I look at him and I see his eyes go left and right and he start to be wobbly. And I'm like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And he's like, I just feel weak. I feel tired. I don't know what's going on. And I had to psych him into like, no, it's good. You're fine. You're fine. And I thought like maybe I did something bad with I don't know, the food and we didn't know he had dengue fever and he still like did all the 3 rounds and he found like, teeth and nails, like, to win that fight. In Japan when he was 18 for the K1 tournament, like he got like suffer a stomach burn during the plane. He had to take to be sedated. Woke up the day before the weigh in with IV, ripped up the IV, lost the weight, still did the tournament. Like it has all been tough at nail, and he never needed anything to be tough like that. So when we did this fight camp, like he actually like had a broken bone in his hand, and we didn't do the how to get that, like infiltration. Like,
Injection.
because we know that this injection, when you do it for the bone, it can show like positive on test. So we didn't do that injection for that. Elias fought with a piece of like a broken hand. That's why all the first round he was very shy into throwing his right hand, because he could not really punch with that backhand. So if Elias wanted to dope like a lot of fighters in one championship does, it would be like real doping, not taking like, I don't know, medicine.
Yeah.
Like we can, like Elias, like for example with Naito fight, what's funny is like Naito has been talking, but Elias got tested with urine and blood after that fight, and that's how we knew that he had dengue fever, because they made a full check on him after the fight.
I know. I saw some of the documents Elias sent to One Championship, and he stressed how it was financially important for him to do this fight. And I imagine this never crossed your mind to pull out of the fight, even though he was sick and injured, because you need the money too, right? That's important.
Yeah, like, tu vois, il dit que c'était important l'aspect monétaire pour financier. C'est pour ça qu'il ne fallait pas sortir du combat. And yeah, we have family business. We were trying hard to work, and that's why, like, yeah, Elias didn't want to pull out of the fight. Like we told you before, like the suspension, it's a good thing and a bad thing, because during the 6 months, Elias can focus on that a bit more on business too in France, and help the family, and like round things up during that time or out of the ring.
Well, you're gonna be back around June then. Dennis said to me he'd like to run it back with you guys. Would you do that fight, or are you looking higher still? I know you wanted Rodtang before. Is that still the plan, or do you feel maybe you're gonna have to go and fight someone else now after what this has happened?
T'as compris ou tu veux que je traduise?
Ils ont dit, ouais, ils ont dit que Denis voudrait une revanche et qu'est-ce que je pensais, s'il fallait d'abord boxer Denis et Rotong
Ouais, voilà,
après.
exactement. Ouais.
Alors, aucun problème. Denis, c'est encore quelqu'un que je respecte énormément, avec qui j'ai partagé des moments sympathiques après le combat. Je lui donnerai une revanche avec le plus grand des plaisirs, même si je voudrais boxer Rotong. Mais si jamais il faudrait d'abord repasser par ce combat-là pour bien stipuler et montrer que j'ai volé ma place à personne et qu'il faudrait rebattre Denis pour pouvoir être prétendant pour le titre sans aucun problème. Si Luan me le demande, je serai dans 6 mois opérationnel à reboxer Denis pour pouvoir montrer au monde que le combat contre Roton, tout le monde l'attend. Moi particulièrement, avec impatience. Et s'il faut reboxer Denis, qui a fait presque un jeu égal contre lui quelques mois avant que je le mette KO, et ben on le fera sans aucun problème.
So, like, first of all, like, like I said, like, we have a lot of respect for Denis, like, him, his team, like, we spent some good time with them after the fight. A really amazing guy. But yeah, if he want a revenge or one championship things, like, Elias need to fight him again before Roteng, like, he will give you revenge anytime. Like, we have no problem with that. Like, again, we really like him, his team, his spirit, a lot of respect for him. But if you need to fight him again to show that Elias didn't steal the spot of anyone, he would fight anyone. Of course, like, he want to fight Roteng. He's excited to fight Roteng because it's a fight that a lot of people have been waiting. And we feel like, Roteng has been dodging Elias for a while now. So definitely, like, either way, Denis or Naito, anyone that's wanted that wants to fight against Elias can get it. There is no problem about that. Like,
Yeah, I was going to ask you about
Denis made
Naito. Yeah, he was
again.
kind of talking a bit of shit, Taiki Naito, wasn't he, on Instagram, suggesting maybe Elias was doping for your fight with Taiki. But do you say that is not true, right?
Bro, I'm doping with the favorite dengue fever.
Yeah.
That's why my doping. I make my body more down for fight with this guy. I fight with the favorite dengue just before to go inside the circle. My brother give me the pad, and I go like I want to pass. I see my eyes moving, and I don't know what's happened. I say to my brother, I'm very very bad. I don't know what's happened, but something is not normal in my body. I said to my team, I said to my team, I have a big problem. I don't know why, but I'm not normal. And you see in the circle, I give every time all my life inside. If I go inside, it's for the people, it's for me, it's for my family. I want to make the show. If I die in the recycle, I do everything inside. When I go inside, I go for win. And sick or not sick, broken or not broken, I give everything. No regrets, never. So when I go inside, my fighting spirit is all the time the same. Sick or not sick, broken or not broken, I give all my heart in the fight.
I
So if
agree. Yeah, it was
Naito,
incredible performance from you against Taiki. Yeah.
thank you, bro. And if Naito think I use something that's a big shit, it's not true. And I have every all test because I have the feeling here, and I stay in the hospital. He gives me all the check on my blood, my pee, everything because he don't know what's happened in the first time. And when we make all my tests, my blood tests and everything, the doctor of the one championship in the hospital telling me you have a family digger. So I'm clean, and I clean all my life. I never use nothing. Many fighters in the one championship use some shit, but I never use nothing in my life. I'm not
You
like
know,
this. My
Mm.
team have a very good name, and you can see in my team never have some problem with the doping or something like that in my gym.
you
Nobody.
know, our gym has been my family gym. Our family gym has been open for 40 years now. We never had any in 40 years any doping allegation ever. And we thought like, it's been 40 years. So basically before I was born, like my gym was still like, having fight in the US, all around the world. Like, we're like some of the first foreigners, like my uncle and my dad were some of the first foreigners in Thailand, like, bringing kids to fight. We never had any doping allegation. So yeah, the thing with Naito again, like if you want a revenge and think like he can beat Elias again, like we said before, we're even open to like bet the purse. The one who win gets both purse. You have no issue with that because Elias whooped his ass with dengue fever. He was whooping him worse without being sick. We have
Yeah.
no problem at all. Like before the fight with Dennis, Elias and Dennis had a bet that the one that will win the fight will pay for a restaurant, and we uphold the bet. After the fight, we went like right away to the restaurant with Dennis. So if the Naito team want to make a dump pan, like bet the purse with no problem.
Yeah, I know you and Dennis. You became close after that last fight, and he seemed to me to be he wasn't angry. He understood what happened, but he wants his ranking spot back. I think he wants to go back in the top 5. Would you accept that if Elias was taken out of the top or moved back down to where he was? I think he was at 5 before, and then he went up to 3. Would you accept that, or do you think you deserve to stay at number 3?
Il
Tu
a
t'as
dit
compris la question?
Denis il veut remonter dans le classement. Est-ce que je trouve ça normal qu'il remonte dans le classement?
Est-ce que tu trouves normal qu'il reprenne sa place dans le classement et que toi il te sorte, ou est-ce que tu penses que tu mérites ta place de numéro 3?
Non, je pense que je mérite amplement ma place. Je l'ai prouvé avec mes 3 derniers combats contre 2 grosses têtes de série qui étaient dans le classement, que j'ai mis KO, que personne n'avait mis KO jusqu'à maintenant. Enfin, Denis, si, mais pas Naito. Et je pense que ma place, elle est plus que légitime.
I think Elias said that after his last 3 fights, where he finished all his fight by knockout, knocking out Naito, that's never been knocked out in one, even though he fought everyone, knocking out Denis. Like I think, yes, he think that he really deserves his place of third in the ranking. Like again, we understand like that it's Dennis' job, like and his livelihood. So he want to get his place back on the ranking. It makes sense. Like we don't have any ill feeling about that. But no, Elias definitely believe and feel that he deserves to be on our ranking, especially after the performance he just gave.
And Elias had a couple of issues with the weight and hydration the last few fights. Are you sure you can stay at flyweight, or do you think you may have to move up to bantamweight, or are you confident you can make weight next time when you come back in the summer?
I'm confident to make the weight because I go with 1 kilo down of the weight, but I just fed the rotation, and we make the DEXA in the gym of my brother. And when I see the DEXA say my perfect weight for fighting is 61.9, so I can fight in this weight. But the rules is very hard to make the rotation because you drink too much, you take the weight, and you need to pee good but lose weight. Euh, ouais, dis-lui qu'on est en train d'apprendre à
It,
gérer tout ça et que c'est
it's
compliqué à.
basically when Elias come in China, like you know who I work for, right?
Sorry?
You know who I work for.
Oh, I thought you had your own gym, right?
I have my own gym, but I work for UFC. It's been I don't know
Oh,
if it's
really?
okay to say, but I
Yeah,
work for
sure.
UFC. It's been 5 years. I've been working for UFC PI.
Oh, really? Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense why I
So
didn't know why Elias was in Shanghai taking medicine.
yeah,
That makes
yeah,
sense.
I'm there, and like and so basically, I always take my brother, like to like the facility, like so he can recover, he can train, like we can facilitate, like his preparation, especially for the recovery, basically, because the thing that's amazing is the recovery. So the DEXA, I wanted to check his muscle mass, and the muscle mass he have is like the one of a 61 kilogram fighter. We can share that actually. For one, if they want to know what their fighter belong in, they should just ask Dexa of their fighter. So Elias is in the right category. The problem is, since Elias was sick, the part of the fight camp where he should have been like training with the diet, etc. Like we could not train that hard and diet properly because Elias was sick, and he was sick from Algeria to the end of China, which lasted like almost a full month. So it was way harder. Last fight against Naito, I took care of Elias' fight camp from start to finish, and everything went smoothly. Elias made weight and hydration without any problem. This time he made weight. The issue with hydration is like, unfortunately, we had to take more like drastic measure because the fight camp that should have been done became like a fat camp because
Mm.
Elias could not train properly for a full month. So that's the main issue.
Dennis said to me as well, it's difficult when you only get 1 month's notice as well for the fight, right? Is that
Definitely,
something? Yeah.
definitely. A proper fight camp is gonna be 3 months, and for a fighter that trained properly around, like 3 months is a very good time for a fight camp. One
All right,
month is a bit
Chester.
short, definitely.
Yeah, it's tough for everyone, especially when you're sick, right? It's going to be tough. But Chester here saying, "Give Mahmoudi the title shot next." I'm sure you guys love to hear that. The guy who was lined up with Superlek a year ago and lost it because Rodtang pulled out of the Takeru fight. It's fitting he'd get to fight Rodtang for the vacant belt. Is that what you guys really want to do? If you don't have to fight Dennis again, if you don't have to fight Taiki Naito again, you want Rodtang for the vacant flyweight belt in the summer when you come back from this suspension.
T'as compris, Elias?
Ouais, il a dit que je devrais boxer. J'ai
Est-ce
pas
que
besoin
c'est
de
ce que tu
reboxer.
voudrais?
Ah oui, oui, oui,
Si t'as,
on a
ouais.
travaillé pour ça. Of course.
Yeah,
I work
definitely.
too much for this. J'ai loupé, on m'a volé injustement déjà la première ceinture en K1 contre Page Dam à l'époque, que tout le monde a pu constater. Et il ne faut pas m'enlever ce plaisir, ce bonheur et ce rêve que j'ai depuis tant d'années une deuxième fois. Laissez-moi la chance laissez-moi la chance de vous montrer que voilà, quoi qu'il arrive, ça sera un combat à en mourir sur le ring s'il faut, mais je donnerai tout ce qu'il faut pour pas décevoir les gens et que ce soit une victoire ou une défaite. Je peux vous garantir que le combat il sera à la hauteur des espérances de mon public et du public du One. Ça, c'est une certitude.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's definitely what we want. We already got like robbed one time with the title of kickboxing with Dam, where the fight is on internet. It's very easy to see. Like where Elias should have took the belt that night, or at least got no contest and then a revenge, a rematch. So yeah, we definitely want to have that fight with Roteng. Like no matter what will happen, Elias say like this fight will be like it's gonna be a war. Like no matter who win, who lose, like all the fights of one championship, are gonna be witnessing a crazy engaged fight because again, Elias is a powerhouse, doesn't back down, and Roteng is the same.
And has this taught you guys a lesson, to be more careful with what you're gonna take, if any medicines, things like that? Have you been studying the substance list now to make sure this will never happen again?
So the thing is, this list is huge. Like
Yeah.
right now, like for me, like I checked it after, and I could not even find the product in that list
Yeah.
because it's humongous. But definitely, we're definitely gonna have to check if Elias gets medicine or take anything now. It's definitely gonna go through a doctor that's gonna check everything. Like we're gonna find someone in France or anywhere else, but we will definitely run any type of medicine that Elias is taking now. Before starting training with me, Elias was already taking BCA, beta-alanine, BCA, omega-3, fish oil, all of those magnesium, all of those things Elias was not taking before. When I started to take care of the nutrition and the training, I started to implement the supplements in the training routine to make sure like Elias will always be, in top shape. But it never came into my mind to think that medicine that you're going to be prescribed by a doctor could be, on the list of the controlled substance. For me, PEDs was you're gonna get injection. You're gonna be, you see what I mean? That's
Mhm.
what's PED for me. But I never thought like, okay, we're gonna use like you can have some of the medicine you're gonna take from, a doctor that could be on that specific list of controlled substance. So definitely, it taught us a huge lesson.
Yeah, because when some people see the 6 month ban, they see the words or like doping, they immediately think steroids, whatever, and they start saying negative things, don't they? I'm sure you've seen it in the comments on social media. What do you have to say to those people? It's not so black and white, is it? Not so simple. There are differences. Sometimes it can be something different like this. I believe you guys. You've shown me a lot of documents that back up your case. I think you're telling the truth. I don't think you're trying to lie and cover up anything serious. But yeah, has that been difficult to see these people judging you for that?
T'as compris la question?
Ouais, il a dit c'est pas trop difficile de voir les gens te juger
Ouais,
par rapport. Ouais.
ouais, c'est ça.
Non, c'est ok parce que, en fait, à partir du moment où je sais que je n'ai strictement rien à me reposer et que je pense être l'un des boxeurs, si c'est pas le boxeur le plus propre de ma catégorie, dans le sens où je pense que on sait très bien qu'il y a pas mal de boxeurs au One qui se livrent à certaines pratiques et que c'est pas mon cas du tout. À partir du moment où je sais que moi je suis clean, que je n'ai jamais rien pris, j'ai pas besoin de me sentir visé par ce genre de commentaires parce que ça ne m'atteint pas, étant donné que je sais que c'est totalement faux. Euh,
So that's it. Like
oui,
basically, it doesn't really have any effect on him because he knows that he's always been clean. Like he's probably one, if not the cleanest fighter on the rooster at his weight class. Like we know that there is some guys on the rooster that are taking like heavy gears. It's not Elias' case, so he doesn't feel that whatever people are gonna say are gonna really reach him because he know himself that he's always been clean.
All right.
et
Well,
puis, et
I'm
puis,
gonna go
et
ahead.
puis
Go ahead. Sorry.
deuxièmement, dans tous les cas, tous les documents médicaux, toutes les preuves de ce que j'avance ont été transmis au One et ont été transmis aux médias et aux personnes compétentes. Et tout ce que j'ai dit, on peut le prouver par A plus B, que ce soit avec les certificats médicaux et avec toutes les preuves qu'on a, parce que ce qu'on dit, c'est
and
la
and everything we say has been sent to one. We sent like some of all of the document to you too. Like there is nothing that we say that cannot be traced, that cannot be proved, and that's not tracked. So it's not something that we come out of a magic hat. Everything is been documented, forwarded to the proper instance, and shared to the media. Like we shared again this piece with you too.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of these documents. I appreciate you. I don't think you're trying to hide anything, and I hope people will listen to you and not judge you. Like
But so
sometimes this
far,
happens. Yeah.
so far all of the reaction from people, like most of the reaction from people has not been too harsh.
Mm, mm,
People, I
mm.
think they can see that we're not like a team of cheater, like people that met us too, especially like you can see that we're people with some type of values, and we carry that on ourselves. So the people online, their reaction were not like, oh, this guy, they're doping. We had like quite a lot of support. Like I think people are understanding that we're not trying to hide anything. We're not a bunch of liars and cheaters, and
Je
and
voulais
uh,
faire,
yeah, accidents happen, things happen.
Je voulais faire Joël, justement un petit message pour remercier tous les gens parce que justement à ma surprise j'ai eu énormément de messages de soutien et des gens qui comprenaient et les gens qui ont vraiment voulu s'intéresser, qui ont été jusqu'à lire réellement l'article avec le composant qui a été déclaré comme dopant. On peut constater que c'est un
And
médicament qui est utilisé
and
pour
Elias wanted to thank all of the people that actually like took time to look into the case, that read your article, that they actually dive into it. He received a lot of support message from everyone around the world. that that took their time to actually check what was going on, and not just like stop at one title and like make assumption. So Elias, thank everyone that really took their time to dive into it and check it out.
Yeah,
Really
I
appreciate
have
it.
always every time I meet you guys, I do feel like you're very honest people. You're good people, and I think I can back that up as well. I don't think people need to hate you for no reason. I believe you. I've seen a lot of the documents, but I just want to give you guys the chance to say anything else you want to say. I know you need to leave as well, so the floor is yours, Elias and Jawad. If you have a final message you want to say.
Est-ce que tu as un message final à dire, Elias?
Bah, ce que je viens de dire, je remercie toutes les personnes pour le soutien. Je le remercie lui pour avoir pris le temps d'éclaircir les choses. C'est important. Parler aussi de mes ambitions, donc mon futur combat avec Rotong, au-delà de ce petit problème, parce que pour moi, vraiment, je le réduis à un petit problème, étant donné que on sait qu'il y a rien. Donc merci au soutien dans le monde entier que j'ai pu recevoir. Merci à lui d'avoir pris le temps de comprendre, de voir les preuves qu'on a envoyées et de prendre du temps pour qu'on puisse expliquer les choses. Et bah, merci à toi d'avoir pris le temps aussi de venir m'aider pour la traduction.
I want to thank, like, again, you firstly for taking your time to review what we sent you and organize that today, like, and believing in us. And thanks again to everyone around the world that sent us some support, that took their time to again like check this more deeply and didn't judge right away, but actually like took their time. So I really appreciate. Thank you for letting Elias talk about the next step with Roteng, hopefully. And yeah, for him, like again, this sorry, this is just like a little problem. It's a pebble on the path. No big deal. Like we will have more testing at some point. Like we welcome it at any time, inside or outside of fighting. Um, and yeah, like again, always feel free to reach. Like for me, like always feel free to reach. We're very easy to find. We're very easy to approach online and in the real world. Like if you have any question, if you want to share with us, if you want to just reach. Like social media or face to face, like we're always very very happy to exchange with you guys. And yeah, we're very down to earth people. We're close to the real world. So yeah. Thanks again, and thanks for your time, everyone. Stay blessed.
Yeah, thank you guys for jumping on. And look, it's not the end of the world. I think a similar thing happened to Ellis Barboza. He's fighting for the title this week. So maybe you guys will be fighting for the title when you're back very
Yeah,
soon.
Sure.
All right, guys.
hopefully.
Yeah, appreciate it. Ilias taking the time out. I know you were driving, so I'll let you get back to your journey. And Jawad, I know you're in Vietnam, probably having a good time. So I'll leave you guys alone. Thanks so much
Thanks
for
a lot.
jumping on.
But
Yeah.
again, we'll see you anyway. We'll see you around. Like if the Barbo is fighting someday or there is some other event, like we're pretty sure we'll see you face to face and get somewhere to eat or drink something and have a good time.
Yes, sir. We'll get another interview too, I'm sure. All right. Hopefully see you guys soon. Yeah. Thank you so much
See you.
again. I'm
Thanks a
gonna
lot. Thank you.
see you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, bye, bye. All right, that was Elias and his brother Jawad. Thanks for joining me to give the other side of the story we had with Dennis speaking to me on Saturday. Was it Saturday? It was, yeah, about the doping story, the 6-month suspension. So I wanted to get Elias's words from his own mouth and well, his brothers as well to translate. So hope that sheds a little bit more light on it, gives it a bit more balance, because always two sides to the story. And yeah, personally, I do think it's not as always as black and white with doping suspensions. It's not yeah, steroids. It's not. It is a shame what happened. I have seen a lot of documentation they shared with me, the stuff they shared with one. So I will leave it there though, because we do have a lot of other stuff to talk about. But yeah, how are you all doing, guys? I hope you enjoyed that. If you were still watching, the interesting start to the show. But yes, we have some other things to talk about. I'm going to preview One Fight Night 28. So I'll be flying to Bangkok tomorrow night. Yes, and then doing the usual thing. Wednesday, a bunch of interviews. Thursday, we got the weigh-ins. Friday we got the face-offs. Saturday we got the show. Also, there's a One Friday Fights 96 as well. So I'll be going to the face-offs for that on Thursday afternoon, and the fights on Friday night. Some good ones on that card. I was previewing it on my socials today. Abdullah Diakayev against Alessio Malatesta is a really fun fight. I think with potential contract, what's the word? Implications, yeah. And why don't I bring it on screen now? Anyway, yeah, I've got it up. Some good fights on there. I won't deep dive too much into a Friday fights preview, but I will go bigger on Fight Night 28. But yes, I'm looking forward to Commonwealth against Panarit. Great main event as well. Also looking forward to seeing Hugh back. There's a lot of hype internally behind this guy. I think they see him as a potential star in Japan, which is obviously a big market now for one. They're trying to really break into, as you see with all those crazy fights they added to 172 a few days ago. Yeah, there's the card. I'll be there. I'm gonna enjoy it. Yeah, I think Malatesta and Diakayev, I don't see it going the distance. And I do think the winner, if both guys make weight, I think the winner may get a contract. Particularly Diakayev, he's, I think, overdue for a contract. He may have got it last time if he hadn't missed weight, but he missed weight in December. Friday Fights 91, I think it was. Knocked out Coach Nye. Yeah, but he was pretty badly overweight. But I think he's had about 6 wins now, a lot of them knockouts. So I think he might be coming up, one of Mehdi's strongest prospects. Malatesta, a couple of really good wins now for him. The last one, head kick KO. They possibly may keep him around even if he wins, because he's still quite young, hasn't been there forever. But you saw with Akif Kulizada, if the talent is strong enough, age doesn't matter. If you're good enough, you're old enough, as Sir Alex Ferguson said back in the day. Old Manchester United manager. Football reference for you there. There it is. Okay. Let me see if there's any comments I can get to before I jump into some news and previews. Maybe we'll do a bit of news as well first. I know there's a bunch of the Myanmar people in here, so perhaps I will discuss Vero Nika's fight as well. That will be coming up the week after. So, yeah, why don't we do that quickly? I know they've all been waiting for it. There it is. Valentine's Day Massacre will be going down. So not this Friday, the week after. Sadly, I won't be there. I'll be in the air going to Qatar for 171. That's right. I'm getting there a little early. There's some open workouts on Saturday evening in Doha, and I'll be there for that. And then we got a press conference Monday, hopefully some interviews in between on Sunday and Monday as well. And it's all go. Big fight week gearing up again. It never stops. But yeah, before that, Vero Nika, Myanmar's great new hope, will be making her debut. She signed her contract officially last week, and now it is debut confirmed against Francisca Vera, aka Miss Scarface from Chile, atomweight Muay Thai. Myanmar, how do you feel about this one? I'm sure they're all expecting a debut victory for Vero. I probably would go with that if you put me on the spot, who I would predict to win. I think there's high hopes for Vero. I think it's important for her to come out and really put on a statement. I think, yeah, she told me she wants the title, but she's not going to rush it. She said she thinks, maybe, well, V1 as well, and Tiger said 6 fights, she'll have the belt. So maybe next year they're looking at the title, early next year. I think if she has a statement knockout win here, which she's well capable of, we know, and then maybe something come back soon, I don't know, April, May, maybe on a fight night, because I think her contract is not just, she's not on a Friday fights thing. She's on a contract. She can compete on Friday fights, numbered events, fight nights, what have you, tent poles. So Yeah, maybe give her a showcase fight on a tent pole if the time isn't too close. It might be because that'll be in March, but yeah, maybe an April fight night, something like that. Give her another. There's plenty of girls she can fight. She can also do. She's also signed to do kickboxing as well. So I'll think about opponents soon. But yeah, I think she could get to the belt in this calendar year. We know that Kana is going to fight Pet Jija in Japan, and I expect Pet Jija is probably going to win that. Kana, I have a lot of respect for her. I think we haven't seen the real Kana yet. She hasn't fully shown what she can do. I don't know what it is, whether it's nerves or adjusting to a different environment, but we're going to see she's going to have to step her game up in Japan against Pet Jija. But either way, I think Vero will be meeting Pet Jija sometime down the line. But I've heard Alicia Rodriguez is kind of back at it. I think she's got a fight booked. I do know she has a fight booked, and they will announce it soon. So I think if Alicia wins that, Pet Jija wins in Japan, I think those two might meet in the summer for something, whether it's kickboxing or Muay Thai, probably for the Muay Thai belt. So I feel like Pet Jija, if she beats Alicia as well, Vero may be fighting Pet Jija for both belts. Who knows? Sometime soon. But I have high hopes for Vero Nika. I think she is the real deal. We shall see. Kana expects Pet Jija to win as well. John Flower says. Yeah. I interviewed her briefly the other day after her fight. She said, "Everyone expects me to lose, but I will just do something amazing. It's okay." So let's see. Anyway, yeah, she won her fight against Moa last Friday, which got her the title shot. So, but how are you all doing? How are you all doing in the chat? Good to see you. Anonymous says, I can't hear a thing as I'm typing this in the middle of a meeting, but I appreciate Elias coming on to answer questions considering the circumstances. Yeah, well, thanks also Anonymous for tuning in. And when you're out of your meeting, go and rewind to the beginning and listen. It was a good interview. Thanks for his brother, who was a cool dude. Sorry, we're translating. Yeah, it must be tough. I'm sure they get a lot of negative comments. One sec. Yeah. When that stuff originally comes out, I'm sure they get a lot of negative things, but I feel they've done a good job of getting their side of the story out, and I was happy to help them do that too. But it was interesting to say the least. I do think it's important for everyone to, really be careful with whatever you're taking. I know it can sometimes feel like an afterthought. Yeah, it must be. Sometimes it probably just doesn't pop in your head. You're too busy. You're too dialed in on the fight camp and everything. So I'm not saying it's stupid or anything to overlook. It can probably be quite easy to overlook little things like taking a medicine for a bronchitis, something like that. So, but yeah, a lot of these things have things in them which are banned. So there it goes. I'm sure it's lesson learned for those guys, and I appreciate they came on the show to discuss it. But yeah, let me get into my preview then. Oh, Percy's asking, did you read Reese McLaren ask one for his release? His reason not enough MMA fights. Yes, I did. I saw that as soon as I woke up the other day. I can't remember when it was, maybe Saturday. I saw Reese had posted that, and my immediate thought was, "Oh, brave man," because that's going to be tough now. When you go public like that, I've seen a few people get frozen out. We've all seen it. Sage Northcutt went public after the thing in Tokyo about a year ago, and then it took him until, when was it? I don't know, late last year to get that release. Who else? well, Gary Tonon went public criticizing his lack of fights, and then he was removed from the rankings, lost his title shot. We haven't heard from him really since. I mean, he's still active on social, but he's not talking about one. I don't know if he's just waiting out his contract or what, if he's had a standoff. We've seen it happen to a lot of people. The jail, they get stuck in jail. I'm worried for Reese now. I wonder whether he's going to be in jail. I hope not. I hope this could open a bit of dialogue with one. But anyway, I'll show it here. Open letter to One Championship. I want to take a moment to express my gratitude to One for the opportunity to be part of the roster. Representing One has been an honor, and I have deep respect for the athletes, staff, and fans who make this organization special. However, with the promotion shifting its focus towards Muay Thai and kickboxing, along with being ghosted by a matchmaker and a lack of communication, I feel it's time for me to move on. As a competitor, I need to stay active and continue growing. With that said, I respectfully request my release from One Championship. I have nothing but appreciation for the time I've spent under the banner, but I believe this is the best path forward for me. I look forward to new challenges and opportunities ahead. Thank you to everyone who supported me on this journey. Yeah, so I think clearly Reese is frustrated. He beat Jared Brooks whenever it was. December, was it? Yeah, and then he had to watch Yuya get the title shot for Japan. Okay, I'm sure maybe he can understand Yuya is ranked higher than him, and Yuya's from Japan, so it makes sense to have a Japanese challenger for the belt in Japan. But okay, give Reese someone else then. I suggested maybe doing something with him for the flyweight grappling belt. Kind of half serious, but why not? We've seen Jared challenge Mikey for the flyweight grappling belt. Same belt. It's now vacant. Mikey's left. I suggested having Bebeto Oliveira, who was going to grapple Mikey for the belt in Denver against Reese. I mean, it's pretty certain that, a guy like the caliber of Bebeto is probably going to beat Reese. Even though Reese is very good on the ground, but it's different worlds, isn't it? But at least it gives Reese something to do, keeps him busy, doesn't risk losing his spot in the rankings. But he's happy to take an MMA fight. I've spoken to him, and I think what's frustrating for him is to see Qatar, Japan, two big shows, especially Qatar. I think a lot of MMA on there, but he's not involved. It's going to hurt. And he probably feels he deserves it more than some of the names that are on this card. Who am I to say? But I would have hoped, one could get him some kind of fight. I'm sure he tried to communicate about this, and it seems he's upset there was a lack of communication. So understand he's emotional, and I think he's working a side job at the moment, a 9 to 5, doing electrician stuff, I think, which must be frustrating for him. He's got a baby to provide for and wife, and I'm sure he just wants to be a fighter, focus on that full time. And it must be difficult when you have to kind of put your dreams on the side and do. I've been there, I very recently, I still kind of do other things every now and then just to top up the finances. I wish I could make enough money from all of this stuff that I think it's going to happen soon and eventually. But I had to take some extra work last year when I first was going freelance, and because you never know, it's not always what's the word, like, secure. You never know, so you got to be sure. You don't know sometimes when the next thing's coming from, and it's tough to turn down opportunities when they do fall in your lap. But sometimes you don't want to do them all because you feel like it's distracting you from your main path, which is, for me, covering this day in, day out. And I'm getting there now, thankfully. But for Reese, it must be tough because he's been in One for however many years. I mean, when I first started covering One in 2019, Reese was there. I watched him fight Danny Kingad in the flyweight Grand Prix semifinals. I don't think I saw his quarterfinal. I'm not sure, but I watched the semi-final. He got robbed that night, frankly, in Manila. Danny went on to fight DJ in the final in Tokyo. I know Reese has never got over that. Still pisses him off. But, he's never really complained too much about it. He got his head down, and he had the thing with Kairat where Kairat tested positive, after their fight. Not straight after, 2 weeks. So the fight wasn't overturned to a no contest. But Reese feels strongly it should have been. And then he had this win over Jared, which is a statement win. I think probably should have got him something. But he's in the wilderness still. Maybe he could have waited a bit, but he's been waiting a long time. He fought once last year, I think, or maybe twice, but long time in between. He fought right at the end of the year, and then he fought earlier in the year. And before that, he didn't fight since Denver. So for MMA fighters, it's tough to live off one fight a year or two even. You need 3, sure, ideally 4 if you can bang them out. But if you're not getting a bonus or you're not on one of those very nice purses, I think some fighters in one can live off one fight a year because they do have a big purse. But I don't know what Reese is on. But it's probably, if he's doing a side job as a 9 to 5, it probably isn't enough that he can live off for one fight a year. So I feel for him. I do hope they can figure this out and get Reese back on, regular fight schedule and smooth this over. But yeah, once you go public and criticize one, it does tend to end badly sometimes. We've seen that, like I said, with Sage, Gary Tonin, and a few others. So fingers crossed for Reese. And if he does want to leave, I hope they can figure that out too. But I think one championship is better with Reese in it. The flyweight division is better with Reese in it. And I think, yeah, that's what I think. All right. Sorry, I'm going to drink this again. Some electrolytes. Been very, very sick the last couple of weeks, at least. I had this really bad flu. Then I went to Bangkok and it kind of developed into a stomach bug. And I came back this week or last week. Yeah. It was just hell. It's been hell. I lost a lot of weight. Yeah. Can barely eat anything. I was telling you guys last time. So I'm still recovering. Just about starting to feel normal-ish again. But went to the gym today. First time in a while. I start warming up on the rowing machine. Gave up after 2-3 minutes. I couldn't barely move it. I felt like I'm going to pass out. So I think I need to take it easy and for another few days, maybe. I'll see how I feel in Bangkok this time. But yeah, a little bit less fat on the neck, which is always good. See if we can keep it going. But anyway, I'm going to do a preview of One Fight Night 28. I'll just check some of these comments. Phone, what's up? Saying, any thoughts on Onglar's next fight? Yeah, I love seeing Onglar fight. He's been another one who's suffered with kind of irregular fights, one a year, things like that. So I'm happy he's fighting. It was tough last time. I think Shamil came in very heavy. Onglar also missed failed hydration, but Shamil he was very close to the lightweight. What's it? Minimum. So sorry, light heavyweight. But being honest, I think he kind of dominated Onglar in that fight. Ong did well to survive on the ground in the first round, but yeah, Shamil looked very good in that. I was expecting a bit more from Ong, so maybe this is a chance for him to show what he can do. I'm sure he'll tell you there are probably things that didn't go perfectly in the fight or in the camp, and he will be correcting that this time. So look, Onglar's a legend of one championship, legend of Myanmar, legend for me just as a human being. a guy with a lot of class. You know, it's difficult to think of someone who is more a better human being than Onglan Sang in every way. So I'll always root for him, never count him out, and we'll see. He's also got crazy power in those hands, we know. So don't rule out something special from the Burmese Python in Doha. All right. What else have we got? Any comments? I think Mete says Vero will be champion soon among Myanmar fighters after Ongla. A lot of love for Vero. John waiting to see if George Jarvis will be seen again. As Tetsuya points out, he says he's got a fight booked 30 days out, so that puts him around fight night 29, is it, in March? Is that right? I think so. Brain's a little funny still. But yeah, I know that card is a little bit thin right now, the March Lumpini show, so I'm sure they are starting to pack it out. Obviously, a lot of focus has gone on to 172 in Japan and 171 in Qatar. So there's a lot of things going on at the moment. There's also obviously, they have these fight nights. They have the Friday fights every week, and there's a tent pole I think in March, and there's a 100th show special also in March. Is it? I don't know. I think it might be, or at the end of February. So yeah, a lot of big shows coming up in one. I think sometimes there might be one or two that are going to be a little bit weaker, but you have to look at the bigger picture. All right. Percy says Robocop's finally fighting again after so many years. Yes, Soldich back in Qatar against Daggy. Should be fun. All right. Let's do this preview. Let's get to it. One fight night 28. Again, I will be heading out tomorrow night to Bangkok once again. I feel like I just left, because I did. I just left Bangkok about 7-8 days ago. So yeah, it's a busy one at the moment. 2 big events every month right now. December was the same. We had Fight Night 26. Then we had a tent pole. January had Fight Night 27 and 170. February we've got Fight Night 28 and Qatar. March Fight Night 29 and Japan. Then it's back to April's got a fight night, and who knows? Busy. All go, but here we are. And this card, on paper, it doesn't look obviously as stacked as some of these other shows you're seeing right now, 170, 172. But I like it. If you like Muay Thai, I think it's a fun card. Just look at those top 2 fights. Prajan Chai is back finally against Elias Barboza. Strawweight Muay Thai title on the line at Lumpini Stadium. Interesting, to say the least. Prajan Chai, I don't think he's defended that belt since unifying it with Lasiri in December 2023. So he's not fighting that often either, Prajan Chai. I think I know why now, because Tetsuya shared a picture on Twitter, I think, of saying how much weight Prajan Chai has been cutting for these fights. Seems ridiculous. So maybe he's a little too big for the weight class, but he knows if he goes up, it's going to be tough for him there too. So getting older as well. I think late 20s now. Only so often the body can do it, but fingers crossed, no mishaps with hydration and weight. But Barboza looks to be in very good shape. He's had months to prepare for this. He switched over to Venom training camp from Fairtex. I think it's taken him to a new level. Just having Mehdi is a big plus right now. Mehdi is showing he's a genius game planner, as you saw at 170 with Nabil Sinsamet getting big wins. Bampara Kuyate beating Joe. didn't go too well for Alta Crete, but 3 out of 4 ain't bad. So I think. Sorry, it's really loud out there. Don't know if you can hear it. But yes, Barboza. A lot of people will have Prajanchai as the favorite, and rightly so. Ellis has come in 2 wins in 1. One of them was overturned to a no contest after he tested positive, just like Mahmoudi, and had a 6-month ban. But he's gone away quietly, worked on himself. He came back and beat Alif. Again, that was quite controversial. A lot of people thought Alif did enough to win. It was a split decision. Ellis got a knockdown in the first round, but Alif strongly won second and third round. 2 judges had it. All of them had it 28, but 2 gave it to Ellis for the knockdown, and 1 gave it to Alif, believing the damage Alif did overrode the knockdown. So very close, but some people say Ellis doesn't really deserve a win after that. But not many contenders in the division, honestly, and Prajanchai needs someone to fight. I think if it's not Ellis, it's maybe going to be Alif. So Alif's got another fight on this card. We'll see in a minute. It was going to be Tongpoon. Tongpoon is now pulled out again. So I feel like Alif will be getting the title shot soon enough. But let's see. This is Ellis's moment to shine. Can he pull off the shock? We shall see. Not sure. Many people are going to give him a chance here. But let me know what you think in the chat. Kongtorni and Nongo. I'm excited about this one. Kongtorni, I've been very, very impressed with him. He was my breakout fighter of the year, I think, when we did our awards for 2024. I thought he really impressed me. Just got better and better. Even the Superlek loss wasn't, a damaging thing for him. I think it was a positive. So he can go in there with Superlek and not be, destroyed. But I think he had some very, very impressive wins. And this is interesting. Nongo coming down from bantamweight, former champion. He's looking very shredded. And in this weight class, flyweight, I've been calling for it for a while. I think, Nongo is just too small now for bantamweight. He used to knock everyone out there, but, times have changed. A lot of bigger dudes at that weight class now. So I don't think Nongo can really stay. He'll always be there or thereabouts, and I think he can compete. But the power of a guy like Nico Haggerty, and I mean, he did well to survive Nabati. He some people thought he won that fight, but maybe he's just thinking, let's see, I'll go down. If he beats Kongtorni, he's right in the mix for a title shot, and he's straight in the top 5, top 3. He could very easily get the next crack at Rodtech. So big fight, a lot at stake. Don't know how it goes. We'll have to see if Nongo. I mean, he doesn't have a chin. We've seen now anymore at bantamweight, really. So will it be even more compromised, cutting all this weight? And history has shown that is often the case when you go down a weight class like this. You do lose your chin. And Nongo has been caught by Haggerty pretty badly, by Nico. We've seen that. So let's see. Kongtorni's been pretty accurate. He's found found the probe a few times. That was a very impressive win. There is no shame in losing to Superlek, as John Flower says. I agree. But let's see what happens. Give me your thoughts in the chat. Who's going to win these top 2 fights? They are probably the best fights. Not probably, definitely on this card. But there's some fun ones I'm looking forward to as well. Welterweight MMA, Hiroyuki Tetsuka against Zhang Lipeng. I like Tetsuka a lot. I think Lipeng is underrated too. So I'm fine with this fight. I think Tetsuka, it's a shame what happened in his last fight. He in Denver, Issy Fitikefu kind of smothered him. Fitikefu is a big dude. and possibly putting himself in the mix for the title there. Issy at welterweight. I think Tetsuka before that, yeah, he'd been on a great run. You know, five wins in a row. I think 5 finishes in a row even as well. Yeah, and the last 2 of them were first rounds. He's a monster, finishing monster. But let's see if he can get back on track here. Zhang Lipeng, very durable guy. He's I remember he kind of went the whole 15 minutes with Sagid. Is a Gakmaev who was destroying everyone at the time, Khabib's protege, and he's a tough dude. Yeah, he's beaten some big names. Timothy Nastyukin as well. He's beaten Falayang. Maybe age not on his side. He's 34. He also, I think he lost to Maurice Bevy, who's impressed me as well. Again, decision, very very tough, very durable. As I said, if Tetsuga finishes Zhang Lipeng, I think that's a very good win because he has lost, but it's usually a decision. He's very hard to put away. So over to you, Hiroyuki Tetsuga. I would probably pick Tetsuga though to win. Maybe a decision though. Sean Climaco against Diego Paez, flyweight Muay Thai. Now this is weird because these guys have fought already over in the US. I think it is. So they're flying both of these guys out from the US to fight in Thailand. A little bit strange, but is what it is. I like Sean. I haven't seen much of Diego, if anything. But yeah, Sean had a very fun fight, the opener at Denver with Johan Estupinan. That was he knocked down Estupinan twice, I think, and then Estupinan came back, knocked him down. It was just two mad opening rounds to kick off that card. It's just what you like to see in one. I don't know if Diego is built from the same mold, but some people I know say he's fun to watch too. So I bet that will be interesting. But it is pretty high on the card. So, I'm surprised by that. I thought maybe Lobo and Semipet, as you can see, would be higher up. I think that's a little disrespectful to Lobo, Semipet, 2 former title challengers. A little bit early to have those dudes on. But we'll get to that. Lito Adewang against Keito Yamakita, Strawweight MMA. Lito's been on a roll since coming back after he had some documented problems with injuries and death of parents. It was tough for him. He was very depressed. But he's come back 3 wins in a row now over Adrian Mateus, Jeremy Miado, and Daniel Williams. So onwards and upwards for Lito. Glad to see him back. It's been a while. I didn't realize he'd been gone for so long. It was that last fight was Daniel Williams, 2024 February. So nearly a year. Definitely happy to see him back. Keito's another one, durable, doesn't tend to get finished very easily. He is he's a very very accomplished wrestler. We saw him submit Jeremy Miado. He's going to probably try and do that to Lito. Lito struggled with that against Jared Brooks. But he's beatable. He's strong, very strong, durable as well, but beatable. And Lito has insane power if he catches people. So you never know. Could be first time for everything. There always is. But this is interesting when both guys kind of on upward trajectories, and I think a win for either puts them in a good spot to challenge Jared or Joshua for the belt. Although they may have to go through Bokang, Messignane, perhaps. That's the only thing I would think of. But yes, Strawweight MMA. There it is. few people from Myanmar arriving to the chat. Excited about Vero Nika. Percy asking, does one test their fighters for the use of PEDs? They do test them during fight week or just after the fight. That's what Elias Mahmoudi got caught with an in-competition test. You know, obviously, if you fail an in-competition test, it is a bit of a fuck up on your end, because if you're taking drugs and you're trying to cheat, you should know when to come off them before your fight. You know what I mean? This is what I'd like to see more of in one, is out of competition testing, because that's the only way you can really know if someone's taking performance enhancing drugs, PEDs. You're not going to catch them all at fight night, because if they are taking them and they know they're on a ban list and they're going to piss hot and they still do it anyway, then they're just stupid. Yeah, so they're not that dumb. They're going to come off whatever drugs they're on. This is my problem with it. We need a bit more out of competition testing. Thoughts on 171 fight cards? Yeah, I like it. I was looking at it today because I was asking them who, or they were asking me who I want to interview. It's not the best card, not the worst. You know, I'm not as hyped for it as I am for Japan or I was for 170 in Bangkok. But I think there's still enough there to get excited about. Haggerty and Wei Rui is going to be fun. Joshua Jared trilogy, a lot of spice there. I'm always down for either of those guys to see them fight. Ilias Anahashi Pettenon, great fight that is. So those are your top three fights. And then there's some MMA. There's a lot of MMA. So this is one for the MMA fans, really. Not. But you know, if you are a striking fan, you've still got two excellent kickboxing fights. But yeah, no Muay Thai really. I thought one were going to go back there with a lot of big Muay Thai names this time. That seemed to be a lesson I would have learned from the last event. You know, it was kind of dull. Just the MMA fell flat a bit. We know what happened with the red cards, things like that. So I thought they were going to go all out, get Rodtang out there and Superleg. But maybe Qatar said to them, no, we want MMA. We don't want Muay Thai. So here you are, 1-7 up a big MMA card. And yeah, Shamil Ongla, Daggy and Soldic, you know, I'm happy to see both those guys back. Bibiano, Kevin Bellingon, number 5. That one's a bit random. I think both guys way past their best. But I'm happy to see them both back. And you know, they're two of the guys that built one championship, so let them have a moment. I'm happy for it. Shamil Gasanov and Martin Nguyen. Yeah, Martin, another one of the OGs, just like Ongla. Happy to see them all get some shine again. Shamil, dangerous up and coming guy in featherweight. Probably winner of this gets a title shot. Mauro Chirilli, Kirill Gushenko. That's a fight at heavyweight. Jake Peacock, Shinji Suzuki. I mean, Jake's obviously got a great story and is always very fun to watch and great to listen to. Ayaka and Ritu Fogat. Great to see Ritu back after so long. Ayaka's been on a roll. Cade is back. He's always box office. Third MMA fight against someone I've never, you know, a newcomer I don't know, Nicholas Fina. And then a couple of other fights. I don't know anyone involved in those. Yeah, the card it's not the best, not the worst, as I say. But getting back to one fight night 28. Anything on Malakin? No, I don't know. I thought Malakin would probably headline this card against Rugrug. I thought that made a lot of sense. I don't know. Maybe Rugrug is enjoying his title win a little too much. Wants to take a break. He's been on a victory lap for a while, and he deserves it. Fair play. Yeah. John saying, I thought they would have put more Muay Thai on the card just in case. Yeah, same. Percy, glad one didn't sign Francis Ngannou. Have you read what's going on with PFL? I've seen things on Twitter. I don't know that anything huge is broken recently, but yeah, I just saw some of the Bellator the big names were complaining they weren't getting fights, just like one. I think PFL had similar issues. Probably, those guys were on big money from their old contracts, and it's not very cost effective to fight them more than once a year sometimes. So, I'm glad PFL released Pitbull, and I'm sure there's a few others who probably want to get out. I think that's always best for business. If you got someone who doesn't want to be there and you don't want them there, just this mutual parting of the ways. I think PFL's got a interesting product. They've made some tweaks to it now with a straight tournament format. But I think that show they did in Dubai showed that they don't need the tournament thing. That's just a gimmick. All the stuff they have, the smart caging as well. I think when it boils down to it, is people want to see these fights like Nurmagomedov and Paul, whatever, Paul Hughes. I can't remember. See how much I pay attention to it. I don't have time to really even follow it, but I don't even follow UFC too much anymore anyway. But it was Usman Nurmagomedov and the Irish guy. Sorry, he's on the tip of my tongue. Who's been getting some heat from McGregor? Yeah, Paul Hughes. That was a great fight. I think. Yeah, I don't really follow anything else going on with them. I don't know. But yes, a lot more Vero fans here. Mint has said it 4 times. They are going to be hyped for her debut for sure. Quickly back to the preview. I got about 15 minutes left. I want to wrap it up. Jeremy Pakatu and Ibrahim Dayev. Dayev looks good, but it's been a while since he fought. About a year. He beat Mark Abelardo in January at that show. I wasn't at that show, so I didn't see it. It's one of the few shows I missed ever in one. That's not. I mean, I do miss Friday fights a lot, but of the monthly shows since I started covering it, there's not been many I missed. But that one was one of them. So I can't really say. But he's got a lot of backing, I think, from the Russian mafia. No, I mean that came out really wrong. I meant like the one Russian squad who are all pretty tight. I think he's well embedded in that. Malakin and co. Probably, I'm not sure. He might be with Malakin's management team. One chance. I need to check. Pakatu, he's shown some bits and pieces here and there. He's on a 2-fight win streak. Lost to Fabricio Andrade. Everyone does. But he's had some good wins. Beat Chen Rui, who I rate quite highly a few years ago. Wang Shuo, last April was his last fight. Submitted him in the first round. Also beat Teal Tang, Ong La's protege, sorry, in Manila. I was there for that. So I'm still, the verdict, I'm not sure on Pakatu. He's still quite young. I think if he gets a win here, we'll see where he can go. Bantamweight, we need more bantamweight. So, the winner of this could well find themselves fast track to facing Fabricio. Who knows? Felipe Lobo and Semapet. Rematch. Loved the last fight with these guys. They leave it all out there. They're not point fighters, we saw what they do. Like Lobo. It's funny because we saw what Nabil did to Nico Carrillo, but he couldn't do that to Lobo. And I don't know whether it was Lobo's style that stopped Nabil or whether Nabil was still feeling his way into bantamweight. But Lobo tried his best to get close to Nabil, close the distance. Nabil just spent 3 rounds frustrating him. But I think Lobo did a lot better than few people have against Nabil. Simapet, yeah, similarly just goes for it, reckless abandon. Usually gets a knockout or gets knocked out. I love this guy. He's one of my secret favorite fighters. Just always enjoy watching him. He's never dull. So I expect this one will be very fun. A little bit too early for me on the card, if I'm going to be honest. I think they deserve to probably slot in, third from the top there, below Kongtorni and Nongo, if I'm just being honest. Jeremy Miado against Gilbert Nakatani. I caught up with Gilbert at 170 outside the stadium. We had a bit of a chat. He's training over at Sanctonoy with Moses and co. He was there to watch Suryan Lek beat Tanzine. He impressed me against Yuya Wakamatsu. Instantly made an impact to flyweight MMA division. Jeremy Miado, I think, has had some big wins, has had some losses. He's on a bad streak at the moment. Four fight losing streak. I think this may be last chance saloon for him in one championship, which is weird to think of because there was a time Jeremy was it was very different. Yeah, he was on a 4-fight win streak. Now he's on the 4-fight losing streak. So a bit up and down for him, as I said. And he's had some impressive wins. Beat Daniel Williams. Daniel had come over from Muay Thai and was doing very well in MMA. I remember this was 2022, 2021 time, pandemic. Jeremy, knocked him out. He did miss weight, I will say that. But he's also beaten Lito Adewang in Singapore at 1X. I remember I was there, the 10th anniversary thing, and that's when Lito destroyed his knee. It was pretty ugly, but it's been a bit downhill since that for Jeremy. He lost to Mansour Malakiev, lost to Lito in their rematch, lost to Kaito Yamakita in Qatar, was submitted. I remember that. And then lost to Hiroba Minawa last summer, split decision. So tough one for Jeremy. He's kind of been around a long time, since 2018, maybe longer. He predates me, 2017. So he's fought a lot of people. Hopefully, if he loses, he still sticks around. I know how much it means to him. He puts a lot of effort in. Bit of a veteran, but tough task for him against Gilbert, who I think was impressive, and I think they have some high hopes for Gilbert. Right, Carlo Bumina Ang against Song Min Jong. Carlo, Team Lakai, one of the new gen. Didn't go so well for him on his debut. He was steamrolling people on Friday fights. He had 5 wins there. Bunch of finishes, 2 subs, couple KOs. But then he came up and he ran foul of the tormentor, Enk Orgil Bataku, who loves submitting Team Lakai guys, doesn't he? Just a monster with that Kimura. It's just savage. Yes, one of my favorites. Enk Orgil. The Mongolian. Just what a badass. But no shame in losing to him. So let's see what Carlo's got. He's got Song Ming John, who's a bit of a veteran. We haven't seen him for a while. He'd been around for a while too. He was back a long time ago. He was, I think, when one first started, he fought around 2012. But then, he went away for a while. He came back, around when I started covering it. And I remember, I've seen a few fights of his. He's 4 wins out of 5 from the last five years. So he lost to Jay Hay, former champion. No shame in that. At Inside the Matrix 3, I remember that. That was one of the weird cards they did. 2020 when they had no audience, kind of the empty Singapore arena ones. They had the funny names still inside the Matrix, and they did a graphic with Chatri as Morpheus. It's quite funny. But yeah, he's got wins over Teal Tang as well, Chen Rui. I would suspect that Carlo probably being teed up for a win here, but Song Min John still only 33. By no means washed up yet. Let's see. It's a tough test. He's I think got more experience at a higher level than Carlo, so Carlo could have trouble here. We'll see. It's interesting. We'll see what Carlo's made of, whether he can do anything in this division, whether the Philippines is going to have another star on their hands. And Gabriel Souza against Gianni Grippo, featherweight BJJ. I won't pretend to know much about grappling, as I tell you, but what is interesting to me is, yeah, I think I noticed it last time, that they're now calling it BJJ on the cards on the website instead of submission grappling. So I don't know if they've changed the name of the sport in one from submission grappling to BJJ. I think that's better. It's a bit catchier, easier. Submission grappling, bit of a mouthful. Lightweight submission grappling champion, world champion of the world, whatever. So I like that. Souza obviously was the guy who Mikey accused of bullying him, I think, last summer. They fought at Impact Arena in June. He's very good. I've seen him grapple. I don't know anything about Gianni Grippo, really do not. So I won't pretend to. Yeah, that's as much info you'll get out of me on that fight. And then Alif in the opener was going to fight Tong Poon, as I said. Tong Poon has pulled out once more. Same thing happened last year. Tong Poon was sick last time. I'm not sure what happened this time. I think it's injury this time. But someone called Shamil Adukov, who I know nothing about, again, has stepped in on very short notice to fight Alif. I'm pretty sure Alif is being teed up to get a knockout, bringing the ties early doors to come into the stadium at 8 a.m., whenever it is. And if he gets a knockout, I'm sure he'll get a 50K bonus. So that is your card. Let me know your thoughts on it, everyone. What are you looking forward to the most? What are you least up for? Got a few minutes. Yeah, John Flower got them with his submission grab ass comments. Alif is usually exciting. Yes, I think Alif. Yeah, I don't know anything about Shamil Adukov, but it can be tough for him either way. Bring back the fun name. Story of the Fight says, yeah, Inside the Matrix was a cool one. Winter Warriors, another fun one. That was the last time Daggy fought MMA. Winter Warriors, December 21. What was it? Yeah, I think so. Or 22? Maybe 22. God, the time just flies, doesn't it? Any thoughts on Rodtang's belt? Who could he face for it? Well, I think if Mahmoudi hadn't had this suspension, probably he would be a good candidate. I would have done Contorni against Mahmoudi. But let's see what happens with Contorni and Nongo. But yeah, winner of that one maybe could fight Dennis. Because Rodtang's not going to do this anytime soon, is he? He's got this fight with Takaru first. So I think they need to establish a clear contender to face Rodtang, and I don't think they'll be in a rush to put Contorni against Rodtang, because Contorni is a very dangerous guy. So I could see it going to Mahmoudi, yeah, even with the suspension. Not that he's not dangerous, but you know how there's a lot of politics in Thailand with the gyms, and I think Soray, how she may have enough influence to kind of keep Rodtang away from some of the top level ties. Contorni, I think, is going to be joining that upper echelon. So she may see it more favorable for him to fight another Farang, another Jacob, Dennis, Mahmoudi, maybe. But I think Mahmoudi is very dangerous. Do you think Nabati versus Ferrari was a mismatch, a live bread? Yeah, I think I talked about it on Saturday that, Ferrari Fairtex is just not really meant for 4-ounce Muay Thai, if we're being honest. He's very, very skilled technique-wise, beautiful to watch. But you put him up against a power puncher, Russian dude, just every time I think he's getting knocked out. I don't know whether he needs to go away, build up his confidence again on Friday fights, or maybe just leave one. Not sure if it suits him, or does he go away, work on that a bit more, the 4-ounce gloves. But yeah, was it a mismatch? Yeah, but it's a good opportunity for him if he could win it, right? You could see why he took it. But Nabati, yeah, scarily powerful, and I think Nabati now looking up at the belt or Haggerty. Lethway Channel says, how do you see Vero? I think she's going to win, if that's what you mean. I think she will beat Scarface, Miss Scarface. Spectacular name. Percy saying, being the winners now with GFL. The Geezers Fight League. Yeah, I saw she signed with that. Like B, I'm happy for her. I feel like she still could have done a bit more in one if they'd kept her around. I think she could have got some wins. Some of the girls they have now in that division, I think B would match up nicely with. Vic Souza, Noelle Grandjean. There was a time when it was kind of full of a few more killers. Like Angela hadn't retired yet. Jingnan was knocking around there. And around the time of the Grand Prix, yeah, B was kind of a bit up and down, but she had that win over Ritu, so I would have liked to see her stay. Yeah, I feel like she could maybe have done a bit more. But yeah, happy for her. Did you miss Mahmoudi? Tell me what you did. He was at the top of the show. Just rewind to the beginning or wait till this is finished. I'm wrapping up now. Simon Patrick getting no respect. John Flower says, yeah, I like him. I think he deserves more respect. News on Smiller. Percy asked nothing. I honestly haven't heard anything. I know she moved. She left Fairtex and she moved to Vegas, which suggests to me she may be. I've heard she's looking to move over to MMA and leave Muay Thai. So I don't think that'll be with one, but she's under contract with one. So she may have to wait out that contract. Who knows? Who do you think one will induct in the Hall of Fame next? Percy says. I would probably go Angela Lee. I think she built the company really into what it was today. She was the star, Even when Demetrius Johnson came in, I would argue she had more star power than him. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen the numbers. DJ was a very close second, but Angela would drive the needle like no one. So yeah, I'd go with Angela Lee. I think if they're only going to do like one a year, something like that, and I don't think they'll be WWE style, just throwing it out. Everyone gets an invite. I think it's going to be quite tough to get in. So I'd go to Angela Lee. Any other questions? Good day, Nick. Good day, CFR Network. Good to see you again. News on Panda, nothing. I had heard something actually. I think, yeah, I think she's definitely training for something. Yeah, I know someone who's been training with her. It's back in my head. I don't know what, but I'm really hoping they give her something soon. She deserves it. Right. Put Nick in the hole. Yeah. The I don't know what wing I'd be in. Story of the fight. Yeah. Is Rodtang Takeru's last fight on his contract? What happens if he wins or loses? I don't know about Takeru's contract. I don't know anything actually. Winter Warriors 1 was the event that got Ramiro to watch. Great card. Yeah. It was. It was fun. I mean, Jared Brooks was on that, and he came off as a star. I remember. I thought, wow, who's this? It's not. You don't always get a guy in one who can talk this well, and he just seemed like a brash, trash-talking American, which he is. So I thought one had something really special in their hands, and I loved that they pushed him straight away, all the way to the belt. But they've kind of cooled on Jared a little bit. I don't know why. Makes no sense. I think he would be a good tool for them to break into America with. Warriors of Light, another one. Oh, how did Gabriel Souza go from fighting in one, then UFC Fight Pass, then one again? I don't know. I didn't know he'd gone to Fight Pass, but I think these grapplers don't have very restrictive deals. Often it's like a one fight thing with one, unless you're a Rutolo or a Mikey. The bigger names will have multi-fight deals, but I think a lot of the opponents who get put against these guys, one fight deals. So yeah, Souza is very good. Flaming Mo. I've seen a few fights of this Adukov. It looks like Ali should KO him easily. There you go. Yeah, well, I'll leave it there, guys, because that was it. Gianni posted Panda has fight news coming soon. I think that's what I'd seen. Good, she should do. She deserves it. I'm gonna leave it there, guys. I gone past the hour and a half, the magic number. So I know I started a little bit early today. Apologies, but the Mahmoudi boys, they wanted to do 8:00 start, so I got them to agree to 9. So I started an hour early. So I know a lot of people are now just tuning in now to comment and catch up. Apologies. I'll have to leave it there though, but I will. Yeah, and so is John Flower. His clients arrived. I'm gonna bounce. Yeah, I'll catch up with you all on Thursday night. I think we'll do a post weigh-ins live stream, and then. But yeah, I'm gonna be flying out to Bangkok tomorrow night, and then busy day Wednesday with the interviews and such. So probably Thursday we'll leave it until then, and then you expect some drama as always. So I'm sure there'll be some failures. Hopefully nothing too bad. But yes, thanks for joining and watching. I will hopefully be back to 100% soon. I'm still a little bit sick, but appreciate you all tuning in. It's nearly my bedtime now, 10:45. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my night if I can. See you guys next time. Thank you, sir.